been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Hello, friends. How are we tonight? Welcome to Gothic Horror Gaming. Yes, I am your Grim Maven, and I am here to walk you through potentially the final end of this little romp that we're going on. But before we do that, I would like to mention some of our wonderful sponsors. First of all, we have got 3D2U personalized gifts for gamers. They've got some wonderful stuff over there. Amy and Jesse, they make some beautiful 3D printed stuff, as you can see, dice towers, mimic boxes, all these wonderful, fabulous things. We love them so much. If you just go on over to 3d2u.com or you follow them on Facebook and Instagram, they've got some really cool stuff for all of the nerdy gamers you've got in your life. Yes. And secondly, we have got Destination D&D. RedAdventures.com. They're heading down to New Orleans for November 19th and 23rd, culminating in the visit to the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, where some of your players are at this very moment. So yeah, Destination D&D, it is a really fun time where you get to go to lovely spots and play some D&D in fabulous locations, including Muncaster Castle. I believe that's happening in 2025. So yeah, just go on over to wow, I'm going to start that over. www.destinationdnd.com to book your tickets today. I also want to mention that tomorrow on Mab Labs, there is a special guest, Madame Onsa. Ooh, fabulous. She's the Madame Onsa, who is the Yuletide monster artist, which you have seen on the Yuletide mugs. They've made some new art, and they're just going to talk about the designs, the physical things that you can do with the artwork, mug, totes, t-shirts, cards, things to make. And let's find out what they can make together at Mab Labs. Speaking of which, check out Mab's Mobile Mercantile. She's got some fabulous stuff going on over there, including the Yuletide mugs, Yuletide monster mugs, which come in green, red, and black. Krampus on one side, Mary Lude on the other. Fabulous, amazing Yuletide, keeping the creep in your holiday cheer. Take a look at it. It's fabulous. And finally, certainly last but not least, we would love to talk about Dread. Ooh, the new book by none other than our lovely handler Z, Melissa Lee. They are now on sale at Amazon. You can also get them for your Kindle. Super creepy, unnerving tales and poetry for dark nights. Our very own Gloom Master has contributed to it as well. Check out that. And also, if you haven't picked up Dare, the other book by Melissa Lee, you should definitely check that out as well. So now, first of all, I also want to just put it out there, a little bit of a content warning. We are a horror gaming show. So the following program contains pretty graphic horror scenes, violence against minors, creatures of common phobia. Sometimes there might be drug use. Sometimes there may be creepy culty nonsense. You don't know, although you do know because I'm telling you. So if that's not your jam, we have so many other wonderful things that you can check out on this show. And by all means, take care of your mental health and whatever you're feeling today or going forward. If horror is not the thing for you, no worries. Go check out some of the other spots on our channel. So yeah, all of that being said, let us check in with our players. So last time we were with our players, they were in the woods of Vermont in 1899. Ooh, there have been whisperings of strange activity up at this farm, the Braybrook farm, and our players very valiantly and with much gusto traveled through the woods and through wolves period have now gone to the Bray Brook Farm, and that's where we're at so far. I also want to mention you, the players, can help you, the audience, can help our players by with our helps. So the way that that works is you can spend your Twitch points to give our players help. What you do is you're going to write a name of the player in the chat, and that gives them the opportunity to score better in their game. Speaking of the game, the game system that we are using today is Over the Edge. If you've been here before, you probably are familiar with this. So each character has 3 traits: a primary trait and 2 secondary traits. The primary trait, basically they roll 4d6, and whatever number comes up is the number, and that's great. Wait, 3d6. No, right. Yes, 46 for the primary trait, 3d6 for the 2 secondary traits. And so if, let's say, our character is a lumberjack, right? Big, strong, lumberjacky. So if they are trying to do some sort of strength check, like they have to lift something heavy, they could use their primary trait, which is lumberjacking, and they would roll 4d6. And if that succeeds, then great. Let's say they are a avid reader of scientific journals, and they come across something that would need a scientific journal fact. They can roll 3d6s to check that, and that's how we score how the players move through this world. That being said, you as our audience can give them helps, and what that does is it basically gives them advantage. So for example, if our lumberjack is trying to, let's say one of our teammates is underneath a really heavy log and they have to lift up the log, they can use a help, which would mean that they would roll 5d6 and take the highest 4. So trust me, I know these helps can absolutely make or break a moment. And lovely Sir David Percival is here to help us with those. He will be there to keep track of our helps as they go on. So if you feel like helping a character, you can also help me too. Throw me a help, throw it in the chat. We will mark it as we go, and our players will use them to their advantage or my advantage. Ooh, we'll see. So that's how the helps work. And all of the business is out of the way, and I think it is time to just bring in our players and see how they're feeling about this whole Braybrook Farm business. Speaking of which, I shall bring in the illustrious Lady Margaret Maggie Darkwood. And how are we doing?
Oh, it's quite lovely to be here. But first I must say, why are we talking and not just shooting them, really? Oh, I understand. We really must do due diligence and find out for sure if, in fact, a murder has occurred. But
Indeed.
really, who's going to miss them? I mean, oh, great. They make the best vegetables and whatnot. But really, why am I here again? Well, they're the worst.
Indeed. But you have been charged by the sheriff and deputized, if I believe, to help with this murder situation. So
no badge though.
Yeah. So maybe we should try talking to them before we blast them off the face of the planet.
I guess. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And of course, we have the illustrious Dr. Watson Hamish. How are you, Dr. Watson?
Oh, well, it'd be Dr. Hamish, but mostly, it's like if I were to call you Dr. Grimm, or if that was your first name, or Dr. Margaret, you know,
I do have a PhD in spooky, so.
In that case, Doctor, good to have you here.
Mm.
I'm mostly doing well. If I recall correctly, last time we gathered together, I asked them if there was anybody there who might need some doctor and some medical attention.
Yes, I do believe that is true, and
Yeah,
you haven't quite made it to the farm itself yet, but your inquiry has been noted.
very good, excellent.
And yes, and of course, last but not least, we have Mr. Henry Forsyth.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Mr.
yes. There's
Forsyth.
a lot going on up here. It's very strange. They had a watchtower to oversee their approach. This is
Mhm.
after we were attacked by wolves, which are surely within predation range of their farm. So maybe that explains the watchtower, maybe not. Um, I am very suspicious of these folk. They've been very vague and elusive in their communication with us. Now, granted, we've only just met them, but even so, it's been very awkward and off-putting.
I would say so. Yes, they are rather off-putting, aren't they?
Now, so the sooner we can get in there and yes, I am in a strange, echoey white void. This is what comes of going and traveling on the road for a time and discovering what space you can actually stream in.
So you found John Oliver's COVID void. Very nice.
Yes,
I love
Ah,
it.
yes.
Indeed.
Fantastic. There it is.
I wondered where
Found
that
it.
went. All right.
yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk to them. They're escorting us in. I still have my hunting rifle, my hunting knife, and my camp axe is on my bag. So they haven't disarmed us or anything. So
I have not yet. So, all right. Speaking of which, so just to remind you of our setting, you are on a very long road. You've come through the mountains, but you're now walking through cornfields, tall cornfields. Just to remind you, you saw the creepy pumpkin head scarecrow guy as you were walking through, and they met you, I want to say, about 100 yards from the watchtower. So just to remind you that that's where you are. And yeah, so you and it was Hezekiah Braybrook and Malachi Braybrook who came to meet you.
yeah,
You know, Hezekiah, once again, is he's a very broad-chested, little bit of gray happening. Clearly the man in charge. Whereas Malachi tends to be a little bit leaner and tall.
he's the vizier, if you will.
Indeed. Yes, and they lead you through past the watchtower into what is clearly a very well-functioning, well-kept, and nicely appointed farm. I will bring it up now to give you a sense of where things are. So the little blue square down at the bottom, that is the watchtower itself.
Mm.
And you can see that as you go through along the path, there is a well in the center of the sort of building square. There are fields on two sides and forest on the other two sides. As you walk forward, you see a very large, it's right directly north from the well. And it looks to be sort of a meeting house. There are 3 barns on the outskirts. You can kind of see them. They're the pinkish house, the pinkish roofs with the dormer, with a single dormer. And then around the meeting house, you can see 3 houses. There are some other like dormitory style housing on around the main houses as well. Yeah. Does that all make sense to you guys?
It does.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
All right.
And the green roof, what was that?
The green roof.
The upper.
That is one of the dormitories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the path goes like right to it.
Oh,
the
sorry.
color one, right.
Sorry, the square roofed house. That is one of those. Just a nice house, nice looking
Okay.
farmhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Hezekiah looks at you and says, "Well, glad to have you here. Why don't you just come on to my house and we will talk for a bit about what all of this fuss is about and get to the bottom of it." And he leads you to the right and into the larger of the three well-appointed farmhouses.
And this is Hezekiah's house?
This is Hezekiah's house.
Very good.
You enter. It is rustic, but not impoverished by any sense. There are nice rugs on the floor. It is well kept. It is clean. The furniture is made of good, sturdy wood. If you've ever, do you know what Shaker style wood furniture is? It's very similar to that kind of craftsman, well made, well kept, well cared for items. There is a staircase that goes directly up as you walk in. There is a parlor to your left. There is a dining room to your right. And you cannot really tell what else happens in the rest of the house. And he leads you into the parlor area, where he directs you to sit on. There is a nice wing-backed cloth chair that is clearly his chair. There is a chair next to it that is perhaps his wife's chair. But then there are some other seating arrangements. There's a small settee. There's a couple of chairs, and he directs you to sit around what would be a lovely fireplace.
Very
I
well.
will take one of the better looking seats.
Do you
Just
take which
Second
one?
nature. It just
Okay.
passively, I will take the seat that best fits me.
Fantastic. Do you
And
think
I'm
that's
not
his
doing
chair?
this I'm not doing it out of malice. I'm gonna let it just say, if I go into the room and I see a seat that looks like, if it's like clearly his seat, I'm not gonna take it. But I
Okay.
will take one of the nicer other seats.
Okay. So let's say that you sit in his wife's chair, the more feminine, smaller chair, and he directs you. He says to you, "Okay, just wait here for a moment. I'm going to go direct my wife to bring you some refreshments. You clearly look like you have been through a little bit of hardship, and just make yourselves at home, okay?" And he leaves for a moment.
I immediately stand up and position myself by the door. I'm constantly looking outside as well, just making sure no one's coming in.
Okay.
I would like to also look at the room and assess any artifacts or art effects.
It is, a nice room. There's they do have like a bookshelf that has some books on it. They have clearly some they have like a couple of crosses around, clearly religious memorabilia, but otherwise, they have a couple of portraits around on the walls, some candlesticks. You notice that everything is either gas or candles. No electricity yet, but it's yes.
What's the general gist of the books?
Yeah.
Are they all religious in nature?
They're mostly you do spy some Shakespeare. There is, but it's mostly religious. There's a Shakespeare tome. There are a couple of things like like an almanac.
Yes.
Things like there's like, I don't know, sort of the there's a couple of books like Better Homes and Gardens, Ladies Manual for Being a Good wife.
Right.
Things that, that are a little outdated, but not necessarily anything to be worried about. But they're generally more conservative in nature.
I would just wait for them to show up. Just casually be by the door, just keeping an eye on things, but not overtly looking out the window.
Got it. Okay.
Surreptitiously glancing out occasionally.
Okay. And Dr. Hamish. Are you doing anything in particular except for just sitting?
No.
Are you going to turn your volume on?
Can't hear you.
No. This is the real horror show.
He
Indeed.
screams into the void, and the void screams back at him.
He screams into the void. Okay.
But I will be essentially making myself comfortable after assessing the situation.
Okay.
Because I am a guest and it is my duty to be comfortable.
Yes, of course. You do notice there is a lovely fire. Oh, yep. There you go.
Nope.
What?
We could hear the
We
tapping.
can hear you tapping, but not speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. It's coming through your computer speaker, not your headset.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Just barely.
If I do that, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's what I'll do. All right. Very good. All
Is
right.
there a
Hi,
gain you
everyone.
can adjust on your microphone input?
Apparently not,
All
because
right.
that's
Well,
what I was doing earlier. Yeah.
Dr. Hamish does the cellar.
All right. Yeah. How you doing? All right. This is Dr. Hamish here. I'd like to invite everyone to just come on down to just like chill for a mo. Like that's all we need to do. No, all right. So basically, what I was doing, I was going through my medical bag, making
Okay.
sure everything kind of seems to be in order, but also palming a scalpel.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Lovely.
because yeah, you never know when you need to
Got a bitch.
slice.
Indeed. All right. So you get yourselves into your respective places, and Hezekiah comes in, and he says, "Oh, glad you folks have made yourself comfortable. Are you sure you don't want to have a seat there, Mr. Forsyth?"
Oh, I need to stretch my legs for a little bit. I will in a moment. I just need to stretch a little bit. It was a
All
long
right,
walk.
then.
So
Okay.
tell me, we were dispatched up here to look into that poor farmhand that we told you about, Johnston, Frank Johnston, and he said he had come down from up here, and he was kind of sick and raving, and we wanted to make sure that that he was all right. Did you know anything about his background?
Well, gosh, we have so many farmhands come through here. Sometimes the work just gets to him. I guess he was overworked, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
All I know is that he was up here to do some work for me, and he, kind of left me in the lurch a little bit. So, I'm a little peeved about that. Not gonna lie.
I imagine so. He mentioned he had a friend who was up here, Mr. Turner, I believe.
Turner. Oh yes, Mr. Turner. Yeah, no, Mr. Turner moved on as well.
Oh, he did. Oh,
He did, yeah. Not too long ago.
do you happen to know which way he went?
I believe he went a little northways.
North.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can catch up with him at some point.
Yes, I couldn't tell you where he went. He's just one of those guys who moves around a little bit to go from here to there to, work where they can.
Of course.
but he stayed a couple months on here and then moved on as we're getting towards the end of the harvest season. So, all right. At that moment, a lovely woman in a very, I would say, conservative garment, dress, neck to floor, kind of a triangle shirtwaist situation. And she comes in bearing a tray that has various sandwiches, a couple of cakes, looks like more like corn cakes, things of that nature, maybe a couple of scones, just tea fare. And she sets down the tray, and another younger woman, obviously, pretty tall, wearing a similar dress, comes in bearing a tray with warm cider.
Oh.
So she comes in, and they place these things on a table, and Hezekiah says, "Oh, please help yourselves. I bet you're absolutely famished from you look a little worse for the wear, I'm not going to lie. But yes, if you'd like some
thank
cakes
you.
and some cider, please help yourself."
Thank you very much for your hospitality. I will avail myself in a few moments. I'm still stretching out here.
By all means, go right on ahead. Is this all you came to ask me about? A couple of farmhands there?
Well, it's poor Johnston was a bit raving, and so we wanted to see if there was any history of mania with him when he was working for you up here, or a history of alcoholism or some such that might explain his erratic behavior.
Oh, I will tell you right now, we do not allow any kinds of alcohol here up on this farm. We are a teetotaling sort. We like
The
to keep
temperance movement,
things
very good.
straight here. Whether he brought in something from outside, I can't tell you, but he was a good worker. Kind of kept to himself a little bit, maybe a little brusque around the edges, but these kind of guys, they can be a little rough sometimes, but otherwise he was fine. He was polite. Nothing manic about him as far as I know.
Who did he stay with in the bunkhouse? Who did he lodge with?
Oh, well, we have those bunk houses out there. They're, we have mostly the other work hands, that have come through here. So
Would it be
I
all
would
right if
love
we-
very much the opportunity to chat with some of his bunkmates and other people who might have.
oh, well, fortunately they're out working. So
All right. Well, so Henry is watching to see if he's going to have any of the snacks, refreshments himself.
And I'm waiting to be served. I don't get it myself.
that's fair. Yeah. So Hezekiah does take a sandwich, and he's munching on it a little bit.
And nobody's pouring me a cup of cider? How rude. I don't say that out loud, but she's thinking it.
I
She's
see.
thinking
Yes.
it.
Yes. All right. Well, do you have any other questions I could do for you?
Well, what time do the farmhands come back?
Just right about sundown. Yep.
And what time is it now?
I would say it's about coming on noon, maybe like midday.
And they take lunch in the fields?
Yes, ma'am, they do. They do take their lunch out in the fields.
Which fields are they working today? I would love to see your farm.
I believe they're working in the southwest fields. Round about where you guys came in, but on the further side, I'd say.
Oh, all right. Well, if you don't mind, we'll go down and see if we can catch them so we don't have to wait around all day.
I don't know about that. I would prefer it if you folks didn't distract them from their work.
Oh.
I would prefer it if you maybe stayed here.
Oh,
Well, I mean, if you're offering, we'll linger here. I'm just trying to get back in a decent amount of time. Fred Charger, the sheriff down in Quentin, he's expecting us back. So the sooner
sheriff?
we can get up and we can get back.
Well, what sheriff? Why would the sheriff need to be involved if you're just asking about a farmhand?
Oh, because he created quite a ruckus at the inn when he arrived, and
Well, what kind of ruckus?
oh, he was flailing about, and he was kind of wild-eyed from the storm, so he had to be restrained. So we were just the sheriff got involved when he created that kerfuffle, and he asked us to come up here and take a look, see if we could find a backstory on this fellow, and see where it is he's supposed to be, and get him back there.
Oh, well, he's a normal guy. He's just working for me. That's it. That's all I can tell you.
Well, we'll wait for your farmhands to come in with your hospitality. Thank you very much.
All right.
But I would very much love any sort of tour of your farm facilities, because I do find this so fascinating and quite impressive.
A tour, you say?
I do say.
Well, I guess, this is a pretty busy time of year for us.
Certainly. But, maybe even one of the younger children could take us for a walk while you're, if they're going to be around.
Well, maybe I can, get my son Enoch. He's a good lad. He might be able to take you around a little bit.
That would be lovely. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Of course.
Does anybody need any broken fingers or anything like that?
Well,
I can bind them, mend them. I hate
broken
to
fingers,
bring my
you said?
medical bag out for nothing.
Well, if you see something amiss with maybe one of the kids or one of my nieces, sure. But I can't think of anybody who's ailing around here. We're pretty a healthy bunch.
Oh, fantastic! I'm so very glad to hear that. Healthy living is the best way to maintain a good physical regimen and making sure that nothing is amiss in your life. If you have a healthy body, you probably got a healthy mind and a healthy spirit to boot.
Well, yeah, we like to keep things pretty healthy around here, I would say.
Excellent. And I couldn't help but admire that you said you were all teetotaling up here and
We
no
are
alcohol
indeed. Yep,
at
not
all.
a drop is
right, and
allowed
you-
in my house.
And you are eating plenty of proteins and vegetables and things like that.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yep.
Oh, speaking of your vegetables, I heard that you lot have the best vegetables
Oh well,
in the area.
we do all. We're just humble farmers over here. We do what we can. We do what we
Alright.
can with what we're given. And
Well, I need to know what's your secret, because they were telling us down at the end that yours is the finest around and has been for years.
just good hard work and good soil, and
Oh.
blessings come in all kinds of forms. So
Oh, excellent. I'm so very glad to hear that. Praise the Lord for that.
yeah, indeed, praise the Lord. And at that moment, he stands and he says, "Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna go find Enoch. He's got to be around here somewhere. If you don't mind, just stand put for a second."
Certainly. It
Of
is
course.
no
Thank you, sir.
trouble.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. And he leaves. What do you think?
Well, we certainly can absolutely trust management to be fully transparent in any transgressions that may have happened on this establishment. Wouldn't you agree?
What kind of Gilded Age, crazy, late northeastern, white lady nonsense are you spouting off there, Lady Darkwood? Serious to God, are you seriously siding with? Oh, my
No,
goodness,
not even
seriously.
a little.
Listen, all I'm saying is you can't be going. Listen, my dad was he was with Carnegie, and anyway.
Not even a little. It was
No.
sarcasm.
Oh,
Fair.
thank God, I liked you, Phoebe. I thought
everybody-
I had a
Will everyone roll me 2d6, please?
2d6.
Please.
I'm rolling the gayest dice I have.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sparkle pink and rainbow.
Ooh. Oh, yep. These are your helps down there. But I don't
Thank
think
you.
I wouldn't use a help. Just putting it
I rolled a 9.
delightful.
I rolled
Oh.
3.
3. All right.
You got
2.
2. Snake eyes. Wow.
All right. Henry, as you are looking out the window, you espy it's orange, and you can't quite make out what it is, but it is orange and it is round, and you notice it and you start to walk towards the window, and as you get closer, it vanishes.
How big was it? It was outside. How, like, roughly?
It was around
Yoga ball size?
What was that?
Yoga ball size kind of thing?
Yes, roughly a little smaller than a yoga ball.
All right.
All right.
I don't mean to warn you, but there was an orange apparition outside for just a moment, and now it has vanished. It's a round thing.
Was it in a particularly sincere pumpkin patch?
No, it was in the middle of the road, wasn't it?
Oh, all right. Well, yeah.
Was it a very large cat?
No, it was not an animal.
Just
Oh,
check.
all right.
In that moment, Hezekiah returns with a large, strapping lad. He's in his late teens. Looks like a farm boy. And yep, this here is my boy Enoch. He will take you around where you want to go. He looks at Enoch and whispers, "Just remember what I told you. Just take them around and no funny business, okay?" And Enoch nods with utmost sincerity. Okay, guys. Where would you like to go on the farm? I don't know. What would you like to do?
Is this Enoch? Is this the
This is
Enoch?
Enoch.
talking?
Enoch.
Oh, Enoch, I understand your protest. And I will throw down the charm. Even though I personally I can admire sculpted human flesh. I can admire it in such a way of a practiced socialite.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be very charming and buttering him up and
His
taking
eyes
his
get-
arm.
He delicately and very shocked, he takes your arm and he puts it not on him. Yes, okay.
Well, I understand your farm is really just absolutely the best for produce, and I would so love so much to see all of the things. And I will, touch him, put my arms around him, and I'll even hang on to his arm for stability, darling. You don't want me to stumble and fall. I know that you're certainly absolutely one of the most gracious us, and I'll do the stream of blah 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 to
he looks at Henry and says, "Can you get your woman off me, please?"
Oh, she's not my woman.
Well, will you get? Is she
certainly, darling? If it makes you uncomfortable, if you need to keep us, working definitely tirelessly, if I would love very much if you could just continue on and keep going. You don't even need to worry about me. I'm quite self-sufficient. But if I do become I don't know, rough terrain and whatnot, I will certainly reach upon you for certain stability. I know a strapping young man such as yourself, very strong, has way of the world, and you know exactly what's going on. And are we ready to go? Let's go. I can't even wait to see the rest of this farm. If you could just certainly take us on.
So he just leaves.
We'll go with him.
Okay. He goes out the front door, down the stairs, and I will
She's
bring
quite
out
handsome, isn't she?
the picture just to give you a sense. So you are coming out of, there is an L-shaped house. That is the farmhouse that you are coming out of.
With the 3 little arbors, dormers.
Yep. So no, sorry, that is the meeting house.
The
The
meeting house.
L-shaped
Oh, okay.
that has like it's
Gotcha.
brown.
Like the 3 little steps on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. So you're coming down off of that one, and he takes you into the large meeting house, and he goes in, and it's clearly meant for, it's a multi-purpose room. There is a very large cross on the wall. So it is clearly meant to be their church, probably a meeting house, their kind of town hall situation. They might even have, family dinner here. And he comes in, he says, "This is our meeting house."
Oh, you do your prayer? You do your praying in here?
Oh yeah. Yep. We do my uncle Malachi, he's our preacher. He leads us in
Oh.
prayer every Sunday.
Oh,
and
that's
Wednesdays
fantastic.
evenings.
I'm Presbyterian. What denomination are you?
Oh, we're just, good Christian folk out here.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I know, completely understand. Most of us are. Everyone in Christendom. Like, I come from the United Kingdom where, it's the religion, state, all that. But are you Catholic? Are you evangelical?
Oh, we're not Catholic.
Oh, all right. Are you Episcopalian, Presbyterian? Are you Lutherans? Or maybe you're Calvinists. Calvinists. Now that's an interesting sect right there.
Oh, Quaker.
Quakers and Shakers.
Oh.
Are you Quakers?
Oh no.
Oh, do tell us a
non-violent
little bit more
Quakers.
about your. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear so much more.
We just,
Awesome.
That's where
we just
witches' hats
believe
came
in-
from.
While they are bombarding him with questions, I go around the side and start poking around.
Delightful. Can you describe what you're looking for?
I'm looking for any unorthodox religious iconography, any sort of stains, anything like that. Anything.
Roll me. You're an outdoorsman.
I
You're
am.
observant. Roll me 3D, please.
All right. I'm going to use one of my many helps. So thank you, Sir David Percival, for keeping track of that.
Mhm.
I will use one of my helps.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would help if I rolled the extra die. That would be useful. 14.
There's nothing of particular religious note there. I mean, it's a nice farmhouse. You see a wood pile. There's, it's a house. There's nothing particularly weird about it. Or it's not a house. It's a meeting hall. Meeting hall. Roll me 2d6, please.
10.
Delightful. You see the orange thing again around the corner of the building.
It's outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's patrolling the streets outside.
No, it is peeking. It feels as if it is peeking around the corner of the building.
Does it have a face or is it just a ball?
You think you see what would be eyes and nose and a mouth.
Is it a pumpkin?
It is a pumpkin.
Hello.
So yes, it does look like it is a jack-o'-lantern head, but
It's
you
moving
can't really.
of its own accord.
It is moving of its own accord. It's
that's disturbing.
looking around, and you can't exactly describe why it looks this way, but it looks concerned, maybe a little frightened, but imploring.
Imploring. I'm going to take a step outside. Oh, excuse me. I just need a spot of air. A little bit of dust I inhaled.
Wait 1 moment. Yep. Enoch does not even notice. He's
Oh,
clearly
like
just
So basically, what
my
I'd like to know, like,
goals
are
to
you are you Baptist? Are you Anabaptist? I'm a big fan of religion. Are you Eastern Rite Orthodox, which was the first one to really separate from the Holy Apostolic Roman Catholic Church, or like what are you like? Maybe even
I
Church of
don't
Our
know.
This isn't one of those
la, la,
human
la, la,
sacrifice
la,
religions.
la,
No, it's okay. Just stay calm. It's all right. We're here for you.
Mr. Enoch, we are just
his
having a bit of
eyes
fun.
get so big, he claps his hands on his ears and he runs out of the building.
Oh,
All right.
oh no! Oh, we're gonna
So
have to
it's
continue our
self-guided,
tour on our.
or yeah.
Yeah, we're
What
gonna have
does
to
the
continue our
pumpkin
tour
do
on
he
our
does that?
own.
The pumpkin, do you make eye contact with the pumpkin?
I'm looking surreptitiously at it.
Do you make eye contact with the pumpkin?
It
Great
leans a
question.
little bit further.
I whisper to it. Are you all right?
It shakes his head no.
What's wrong?
It extends a long branch-like hands and beckons you with a finger.
Does it seem like it's trying to lead me into a trap? I am trying to judge its intentions.
No,
Pumpkin
It is in earnest.
it is in earnest.
I will take 2 more steps toward it and see what it does.
It nods and begins beckoning you more.
I take 2 more steps.
Do we notice this at all? Because
No, you're in the. I mean,
that's
unless Henry directs you, you are in the meeting house.
Lady Margaret, I'm gonna look for a trap door.
Oh, is it one of those religions with a trapdoor?
It might
Um,
be.
I do turn my head and I don't see Henry.
I feel like this is not right at all.
Oh.
Yeah, they might be hiding things under the floorboards. So
They're
I'm gonna.
definitely hiding things. They don't want us talking to the farmhands. And where did Henry Forsyth go?
Oh, he went
roll me
outside. Remember, he was
3d6.
choking on dust. Who? Which of
Wait,
us?
so are you, Dr. Hamish, are you actually searching for a trapdoor?
Trapdoors, false boards, etc.
And I'm going to go lay my eyes on Henry.
3d6.
3d6. Fantastic. All right. Oh, all right, then. I got a 13.
There are no trapdoors.
No trapdoors. Any false floorboards?
Nope.
All right. Anything along the wainscoting of the where the floor, meets up with the wall that looks not right?
Nope.
Any bookshelves with the books that lever out to
There are
reveal
no bookshelves.
Okay.
Does there seem to be anything particularly odd about the cross on the wall?
Just a simple wooden cross. There are benches that are lined up in stacks of like 4, about 2 deep. So there are benches around. There's a dais. But other than
like
that,
an altar.
It doesn't have an altar at the moment, but it does feel akin to something like that.
All right.
I feel like we're kind of barking up the wrong tree.
I walk around the corner with the pumpkin.
Yeah, I do want to find Henry before he goes too far.
You see him and he is crouched, and the pumpkin raises up to its full height. It looks very similar to the pumpkin that you saw coming in, the pumpkin scarecrow. And this pumpkin is a little smaller, about 16 feet tall, but it's rough-hewn, sticks for hands, rough-hewn clothing, pumpkin head, but it is locomotive. So, and you approach?
My camping axe is along my side in my hand, but kind of behind my leg. I get within just outside of its reach. If it could reach forward with its hands, I'm just outside of that.
It points at you
Mm.
and it writes in the dust, friend, question mark.
I nod.
He points at himself, erases the question mark,
Uh-huh.
and points at the word.
I hope so. Do
He
you have a name?
scratches out the word and writes the word boggle.
Boggle. I nod. Though I
He points
probably
at himself.
don't. The character probably doesn't know what that is. So I would like to roll to see if it rattles around in my brain and comes out.
It does not. You don't even have to roll. You don't. This is not something that you remember, or it's new information.
All right. I then say, what binds you here?
He points at the house.
But do you know of a farmhand named Turner?
He
Is
nods.
he alive? Did the people in the house kill him? Very good.
And then he writes in the dirt 2.
2? There are 2.
He kind of
The 2 have been killed.
He killed him twice.
Are you
You're not
there,
there.
Maggie?
If I found him, then I would like to say that I was kind of tentatively crawling up.
He nods.
Killed him
He was
twice.
killed twice.
So killed him, turned him into a pumpkin, and then killed him again.
Well, not necessarily. Was he turned into what you are and then killed again? I see.
He
How long
points to the direction of the field that you passed.
Is that where his body is?
And then he pats his head.
You know where the body is.
He beckons you.
I make sure the other 2 are out here now.
Oh, great Caesar's ghost.
He starts.
Calm. It's a friend. It's a boggle who's going to help us.
What's a boggle?
But what's a boggle?
He points. And
He's-
Oh, is
writes
that your name?
Y-
Is that your name?
Is that your name or your
Oh.
species?
That's
your
just what
name.
you are.
He writes name
Well-
in the dirt.
I'm a doctor. Dr.
How do you know?
Hamish.
And I'm
And he
Lady Margaret.
do you need what do
How?
I do on a pumpkin? Do you need medical help of any kind?
he
Oh my.
writes in the dirt, help me get out.
Okay, I suppose.
Oh, what do we do? We put him on the back of a turnip
He
wagon.
beckons you guys
All right.
and puts his finger on his mouth.
How many times has this happened? Is this an unusual occurrence, or? Oh goodness, 6.
There are 6 of you.
It just happened.
And
6
he
times.
beckons. He beckons.
All right.
And he takes you around. Hold on. Let me find the picture. He takes
I'm
you
wondering.
around So you're by the
Meeting
meeting
house
house.
originally. Yeah.
He takes you around the dormitory, around that little, like you're kind of skirting the edge, and
All right.
he's trying very hard to make you guys be quiet and be stealthy. And I would like you all to roll. I think 3d6 is a fair, yeah,
Oh,
3d6
all
for
Ooh.
stealthy stealth.
That is fair.
Okay.
Oh no. I got a 7.
I got
7.
11.
An 11. Okay.
Oh, can we do the help thing, or is it too late?
It's too late.
Oh, 'cause
You
not
guys
to
are
help.
so lucky because I rolled abysmally. So
Thank you.
somehow Dr. Hamish trips on a root and falls.
Oof.
Boggle freezes, but nobody comes.
What do you expect me to do? Your like legs are made of roots. I mean, I'm serious. I'm very sorry. I'm not here to judge. I'm just truly all right. This is out of my ken. I swear to God.
All right. So you get to the barn. It's a barn. So you get to the barn and you go to a side door, and Boggle points at the door and tells you to go in.
You want us to go inside? All right.
He nods.
I'd like to look inside before I go inside.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Ambush?
Okay. Roll me 3d6.
8. That's not a great roll, but
You don't
That's what
see
I rolled.
anything. It's pretty dark in there.
do I have a torch?
Did you
Do
bring?
they have electric torches? A lantern? We had lanterns.
You had lanterns. Did you bring a lantern on this trip?
We brought lanterns on this trip, but I don't know if I have it
What-
on me right now. I'm sure I do. No.
Did
All
I
right.
did I grab my medical bag when we left the house?
I believe you did, because you were going to potentially like
Right. That's
help
correct. Thank you. Yes.
other people.
Which I have. I have.
So you have your medical bag.
I have my torch on there.
Okay. So you enter the building. It is dark, but it's not like pitch black, because you can see that
It is daylight.
that there is daylight. There is a window open, so light is coming through. Light is kind of coming through it's not exactly a airtight building, so light is kind of.
Before I go in, there's one thing I will say.
Okay.
If this is in fact a trap, darling, we'll be having pie for supper. And I go in.
She's really quite nice once you get to know her. She doesn't, she just comes across that way a bit.
Okay.
Really
Give me-
lovely woman, really.
And Boggle, you start hearing like his knees are clearly knocking together. He is afraid. So you enter, and it is dark, but you can see things. And Boggle knocks on the side in a pattern that you can't quite see, but it's a pattern. And you see 4 other pumpkin heads emerge from the darkness. And they are all about 20 feet tall, ranging from about 16 to 20 feet tall. And they are similarly appointed with a pumpkin head long limbs, rough-hewn clothing. And that is where we'll end for tonight.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry
Ooh.
to cut things short. I'm not feeling very well, so I appreciate it. Thank you all.
So, ooh, spooky. Yes, and I'm so sorry you're not feeling well, Mr. Forsyth. But yes, I believe that this is a good place to stop. And now we are about to find out exactly who these pumpkin heads are and what exactly has been going on in this weird farm. But thank you guys so much for popping in this evening. Thank you guys for watching. We love you all. Thank you. A big, big thank you to Sir David Percival for keeping track of our helps this evening. We really appreciate that. I would like to mention some of our sponsors once again. We've got 3D2U. Love them. Jesse and Amy, they make really cool, nerdy stuff. Go check them out, 3D2U. We've got Mab's Mobile Mercantile. She's doing some Yuletide monster mugs, green, red, black, Krampus on one side, Mary Lou on the other. Fabulous, creepy. We love it. Don't forget tomorrow, Mab Labs is having a special guest, Madame Ansa, where they're going to talk about their art and all the things that they do with it. It's fabulous and
Krampus
wonderful.
talk.
Krampus. We also have lovely Destination D&D New Orleans, November 19th through the 23rd, rentadventures.com. Check them out. Go to the Ren Fair at Louisiana. It's fabulous. I've been there. It's great. They also have Destination D&D happening at Muncaster Castle, I believe in July. So head on over to destinationdnd.com to book your spot now. And of course, we want to mention Dread, Unnerving Tales of Poetry for Dark Nights by Melissa Lee. It's on sale. Check it out. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on your Kindle. It's fabulous. She's a really wonderful writer and all of that. And of course, we have brilliant performers. Mab, Lady Margaret Dashwood, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mab, just Mab. I retired sideshow girl, considering to be an expatriate. Gonna move to another country, and I make things. Where crafty meets carny, that's my thing. I make stuff. That's it. That's all I got. And I'm here all the time. So I don't know when the next Nat 21 season is gonna start, but hopefully it'll be soon.
Fabulous. And Dr. Hamish.
Hello.
Hello. What's going on? Tell me who you are and all the things.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Kostelik. I'm also your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare, professional Englishman. I perform at Renaissance Fair near you, such as the Lady of the Lakes Ren Fair this weekend in beautiful Tavares, Florida, right near Orlando. And then I'm at Louisiana Renaissance Festival with our normal Gloom Master, Tom Zadoyko. He is one half of Buckle and Swash. Oh, there he is right now. And I'm doing Shakespeare Approves. We'll be there through my birthday, December 8th. My birthday observed. I'm just like the queen that way.
Oh.
Fabulous.
And also come on out for NOLA D&D.
Oh, hell yeah. Henry, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Tom Zadoyko. I'm your friendly neighborhood Gloom Master. I apologize for being under the weather and cutting this short, but if I recover sufficiently, you can find me at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival now through December 8th.
Huzzah. And I am your Grim Maven. I am Katie Hauser. I am a performer. You can find me at hobthetroll.bandcamp.com. You can also find me at runeawaywithkatie.com or on Instagram. I do rune readings, all that fun stuff. And yeah, it's been once again a lovely pleasure to tell this story with you guys. And thank you for playing. And thank you for watching at home. We really love you guys, and we could not do this without
Special
you.
shout out to Sir David Percival for being
Sir David
online.
Percival. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 100%.
And special shout out to Hob the Troll. Go get some Popeyes with him in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, heck yeah.
I
Absolutely.
do. I love the French fries.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And you'll see us next week for the finale of the Pumpkinhead Mystery. We love you guys.
Over the garden. I literally watched Over the Garden Wall last night.
Isn't it so great? It's so great. It's so great.
Never
So
seen it
good.
before.
Potatoes
Bye,
and molasses.
guys.
Bye.
Mwah.